Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Nat. Thank you all so much for joining me. Today is a little bit of a bonus video because I'm actually in between clients right now, but I placed an order with Beautylicious only 3 days ago and my package already arrived. I happen to have a bit of a gap with my bookings this morning, so I figured I'm going to do a quick video because I wanted to try out with you guys the new Natasha Denona HyGlam Foundation. I was also curious to see, being Canadian and ordering from Beautylicious, if there was going to be any extra duties or taxes or tariffs or whatever on top, and I'm happy to discover that there weren't. It's just the regular taxes on top of any purchase. So when I was placing my order, I started thinking I would like to also share with you guys my entire Natasha Denona collection, but to do somewhat of a full face, there were some things missing. So I also picked up the High Blush Cloudy Cream Cheek Duo and the Mini My Dream Glow Blush. Then I picked up the My Dream Lip Gloss. I already have the My Dream Lipstick, and I'm so silly, I forgot to grab the My Dream Lip Pencil, and I also forgot to grab a Natasha Denona eyeliner that I've been wanting to try out. So we'll save those for the future. And then with my purchase, I got a free gift, a single eyeshadow. It is from the My Dream eyeshadow palette, which is actually my favorite. And this is the shade Thrill. My apologies, I'm still getting used to the whole calling out the prices of things. So before we get into trying on the products, I'm just going to quickly call out how much these items cost. On the Beautylicious website or app, the HyGlam Foundation retails for $72.50 Canadian. The High Blush is $57 Canadian. The Mini My Dream Glow Blush is $29 Canadian. And the My Dream Lip Gloss is $39 Canadian. My eyebrows are done and my skin prep is done. I also have the One Size Oil Sucker Primer on because like I was saying, today's a work day for me, so I need my makeup to last. Before we open it up, I'm just going to read some of the claims for you guys. It says, it's clinically proven to have medium buildable coverage, a radiant blurring finish, self-setting formula, short and long-term hydration, balances excess oils, hypoallergenic, non-comedogenic, safe for sensitive skin, long-lasting up to 18 hours. It's talc-free, suitable for all skin types, and available in 52 shades. Not tested on animals, paraben-free, mineral oil-free, UV filters free, and D5 free. I'm not sure what that means. It is formulated in Korea, but made in Italy. Developed with the most advanced Japanese amino acid biomimetic pigments, powered by Korean technology, and formulated by Natasha with the world's leading Korean and Italian labs. This skincare hybrid innovation unites top global expertise in one revolutionary creaseless, blurring, and long-lasting lightweight formula. A radiant foundation for all skin types, it has bamboo powder and microalgae to balance excess oils, providing a radiant finish for dry to oily skin types without looking greasy. Where high-tech skincare meets high-performance makeup, it has jasmine mother cells, which boost antioxidant defenses, brighten and fight hyperpigmentation, white tea silver needle that blurs imperfections and skin texture, scars, etc. I could use that. Defends, soothes, and repairs sensitive skin, calms and reduces redness immediately and over time, strengthens the skin barrier. It also has grape pomace, which boosts collagen production and short and long-term hydration, anti-aging, reduces the appearance of wrinkles, improves moisture, and detoxifies skin. Wow, that's a lot of claims. So let's go ahead and test this out. This is what the bottle looks like. It's glass, and it's very remnant of the HyGlam concealer, right? Speaking of the HyGlam concealer, I have both shades N4 and N5. So in the foundation shade, I decided to go with N6. Let's shake it up. And I'm just going to pump some out onto the back of my hand. I think this is going to be a good match. And I'm just going to go in with an F01 from Singe Beauty. Start in the center of my face, on my nose. So that's where I have the most redness. just to show you guys. In terms of viscosity, it's got a drip to it. It doesn't feel super thick. It does feel lightweight on the skin. I think we have a good shade match. What do you guys think? A medium coverage foundation is actually my preferred. I don't like full coverage. I mean, there's a time and a place for full coverage in my opinion, but for every day, the most I can handle is medium coverage. I usually like skin tints, light coverage. Because for me, I don't mind seeing the imperfections in my face shine through a little bit. It makes me feel human or alive or like I'm not wearing a mask. But sometimes that mask, like I said before, has a time and a place. Full coverage photographs well. And that's the thing with makeup. There's makeup that looks good in person, and then there's makeup that looks good on camera or on film. But first impression, I quite like this. So for me, I just have to see how well this wears throughout the day. Because as most of you know, I am oily. Like, I don't actually even feel it on my skin. Like, I feel like I just have a bit of skincare on. So like I said, first impression, I am quite happy with this. I just quickly primed my eyes with MAC Paint Pot in soft ochre and set them with the Jason Wu loose setting powder. For eyeshadow, I was trying to figure out which palette I wanted to use today, and I decided to go with the My Dream palette since, like I said earlier, this is my favorite palette, and I feel like this color story will go best with the additional products that I picked out. This is what the palette looks like. And I honestly haven't given much thought into what kind of eyeshadow look I'm going to create. So let's start off with the shade Nurture and a Rephr 33. We're just going to lay this down as the transition shade. I guess I actually haven't even used this palette in quite a bit of time, although it is my favorite. But as most of you know, I've been on an indie brand journey as of late. But Natasha Denona eyeshadows are my favorite from like mainstream brands. Same thing on this side. Well, actually now I'm just kind of going back and forth. I guess I'm kind of just doing whatever on my eyes because I'm more excited to test out the new products that I got. So I think I'm going to try and just do a quick eyeshadow look. A quick eyeshadow look for me. Next, let's go in with the shade Edgy and Eyeshadow 00. Just gonna pat this down and blend it up into the crease area. Pulling it across my lid, close to my lash line. Let's put some down on the other side. So since being back from vacation, I've actually filmed a few other videos, but I might bump those to get this video up sooner than later, just because the HyGlam Foundation is current, or most current, I mean. But we'll see. Same thing, just pulling it across my lash line. I guess this video is part get ready with me, a little bit of a tutorial. I only think in those terms because my husband/editor is probably going to want to know which playlist to put this video under. But I think my full face type videos should be all kind of like a get ready with me. I don't know. Do you guys have an opinion? Leave me a comment and let me know. Now I'm going to deepen things up with the shade Aspiration, and I'm going to use the same Shoto 00. Same thing, pat down some pigment first. And pull it across the lash line. You know what's funny is I kind of had intentions of doing a neutral eye look. But this is what we're doing instead. Same thing on the other side. I also have to be mindful of my time because, like I said, I'm in between clients right now. Now I'm going back in with the Refer 33 with no added pigment, just to soften out the edges. Let's pop on a shimmer. I'm going to use the shade Vision. I think this is a duochrome or a multi-chrome. You see the shift? So let's just stick that in the third of the eye towards the center. I'm not sure if I want to put this all over the lid or if I want to use something in the inner third. Why not? Let's try the shade Thrill, this shade, because this shade was the single shade gift with purchase. This is what it looks like. And let's pop that in the inner third. That's pretty, right? Going back over with the Vision shade to kind of marry these two shimmers together. So there's no hard line. And same thing on this side. Going in now with the shade Thrill for the inner third. Back with Vision, mirroring them two together. Okay, now I'm going back in with the shade Aspiration and my Shoto 00, just to put the matte at the edge of where the shimmer starts. And fix my shape a little bit. Same thing on this side. Refer 33 with no added product. For concealer, I have the HyGlam concealer, and I have it in the shades N4 and N5. N4 I usually use for my under eyes or for brightening, and N5 I sometimes use for spot concealing or in the summer months when I'm a bit darker than usual. But right now I'm not as tanned as I normally get in the summertime, so I think we're going to go in with the N4. As we let the concealer dry down a little bit, let's do underbrow highlight. This is the Mini Eye Sculpt. I'm going to go in with this shade, Fair, and just a flat shader brush. To blend out the concealer, I'm going to use an FO2 from Singe Beauty. And this HyGlam concealer, there's some people who absolutely love it, and some people who don't. But that's the beauty of makeup. There's products out there for everyone, for all skin types, for all preferences. And I'm using a combination of patting, dabbing motions and a little bit of swiping. When you do dabbing motions or patting motions, you're pushing the product into the skin and maintaining the coverage. And then when you do swiping motions, you're diffusing it a little bit. For me, I think the best way to use the HyGlam concealer on my face is to make sure I don't use too much of it, because this concealer is quite full coverage. For bronzer, I'm super excited to try out the Sculpt liquid bronzer, and this is in the shade Bonfire. I picked this up during my travels to Seattle. Same thing, I'm just going to pump some onto the back of my hand and dip into it with a BK Beauty 109. Being very careful with my tiny forehead. I didn't realize it was going to be this warm. It's not a bad thing. Warm is okay sometimes. I do normally prefer something more neutral. But it looks pretty smooth, right? I feel like if I had a bigger forehead, it would look way better. So I'm actually just going to go back in with the foundation brush and kind of take it up higher. I'm just trying to blend out where the bronzer and my concealer meets. I feel like that looks better. Again, this is not a product issue, it is a tiny forehead issue. There, I feel like that looks better. What do you guys think? Maybe one pump was too much product? Then we're just gonna go where my cheekbones are, just slightly under. Take it up into the temples and the hairline. Now this is a situation where I feel like the shade looks better on camera than it does in person. Not that it looks bad in person, don't get me wrong. Just the comparison between what it looks like in my mirror versus on the screen. I have to say, after application, this shade is growing on me. And I'm happy to push myself out of my comfort zone or what my normal preferences are. Because actually, I like it. But yes, definitely one pump of the Sculpt liquid bronzer is way too much. So in the future, I'll just have to half pump it. And then just taking what's left over on my brush, running it along my jawline. Now using the Patrick Ta nose contour brush, let's just pick up a bit of the color because it's quite pigmented. taking it up towards the brow bone, and then using the fluffy side to blend it all out. I do love that for how pigmented this bronzer is, it blends out really nicely. I'm quite happy with it. Now let's try the blush. This is the High Blush, and I have it in the shade Fresh Mauve. This is what it looks like. This is the blush side, and I think this is the cream highlighter. I'm going to use a different BK Beauty 109 and dip straight into the blush side. Same thing. I've actually heard mixed reviews about this blush. Some people love it. Some people hate it. So of course I wanted to try it out for myself and have my own opinion. This shade is so pretty. And I think that went on pretty easily and blended out super quickly. What do you guys think? Same thing on this side. And now I'm just going back and forth just to even them out. That's quite pretty. Okay, let's try the cream highlighter. And I'm just going to use the same brush. We're just going to go on top of the cheekbone area. Do you guys see a difference? I don't know. Same thing on this side. I think this is pretty. I can't remember what the issues were for the people who didn't like this formula, but I like it. I just quickly set my face off camera because I don't have a setting powder from Natasha Denona. Now let's finish up this eye look. I'm going to go in with the shade Aspiration and an EO1 from Singe Beauty. Stamping it in the lower lash line, starting at the outer corner. Have any of you picked up the HyGlam Foundation, and what are your thoughts? Let's just quickly pull this across. Same thing on this side. And then I'm going to take the Rephr 33 with no added product, just to blend out and soften the edge. And same thing on this side. Actually, now I'm just going to take a small flat shader brush and a little bit of this shade Spontaneous. And let's pop this in the inner corner. And wrap it around to the lower lash line, just emphasizing the tear duct area. Same thing on this side. And now let's go over the High Blush with the My Mini Dream Glow Blush. And look at how cute this is. I'm just going to go in with a BK Beauty 112. And I think I'm just going to swirl it all together. That's pretty. I'm into this. Another time I'm going to test this out on its own just to see what the true tone looks like. But I do like this. Same thing on this side. That's pretty. I need to come up with some new adjectives. Everything's pretty. I just did eyeliner, mascara, and set my face off camera. And like I said earlier, I'm kicking myself because I didn't pick up a Natasha Denona eyeliner. But now let's move on to lips. I got the My Dream lip gloss. It's lusciously soft and hydrating lip shine. And another product I wish I picked up was the lip liner to go with this one. But for today, let's use the lip liner in I Need a Nude. This is what the component looks like, and I think it's so cute. I actually like the My Dream graphics and design the most out of all of the Natasha Denona collections. So let's give this a try. I remember now, when I purchased the My Dream palette last year, maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember when exactly, but this lip gloss was actually sold out at the time. So I ended up picking up the lipstick, which I'll show you guys in a second. But let's get this on the lips. Interesting. This doesn't really feel like a lip gloss to me. It almost feels like a liquid lipstick, or maybe it's just a really pigmented, opaque lip gloss. The shade is really pretty though. What do you guys think? Now on to showing you the rest of the items that I have from Natasha Denona in my collection. I have 2 lipsticks. Like I was saying earlier, this is the My Dream lipstick, and this is the I Need a Nude. I'm just going to swatch these on the back of my hand to show you guys. That's the My Dream. And her lipsticks are very creamy and comfortable. Here's the I Need a Nude. So this formula, in comparison to the My Dream, is a little bit more matte. It's not as shiny, but still a very pretty color. And now moving on to the mini palettes, they come with 5 eyeshadows. This is the mini eye sculpt that I already showed you guys earlier. It's 5 mattes, perfect for everyday wear, or if you want to fill in the gaps to a colorful eyeshadow palette, you have a light shade and you have a matte black. But even this palette on its own, I've used it many times and I'm super happy with it. Also, these mini palettes are perfect for travel. I also have the mini glam palette. This is what it looks like. I wish I had the glam palette in the midi size. But you never know, I might pick it up in the future. This is the mini Biba palette. This is what it looks like. Another full-size palette that I wish I had. I wish I had the Biba. That one's a bit pricey and I might wait for a sale. Next is the mini bronze. This was my favorite palette for a while. This is what it looks like. And I'm so grateful that I got the midi size bronze palette in one of my Ipsy subscriptions. This is the mini nude palette. This is what it looks like. And the last mini I have is the My Dream. This is what it looks like. Next, I have a couple of the bigger 5-pan palettes. This is the Rose and Wood palette. And my apologies, I don't have time today to do swatches for you guys. But if there's anything you see in my collection that you want swatched out, just leave a comment and I'll do my best to get it done for you. My second 5-pan palette is the Hot Topic. This is what it looks like. And now moving on to the midi size. This was the first midi size Natasha Denona palette that I got. It's the I Need a Nude. And I don't own any of her full-size older palettes. But maybe one day I'll splurge and pick up a couple of those palettes as well. Because I'm actually curious to see what that formula is like. I keep hearing people compare the midi size formulas back to the original bigger palette formulas. So, you know me, I'd like to discover for myself how it feels, how it works, how it blends out, how the pigmentation is. If I remember correctly, I'm going to show you the palettes in the order that I got them. Then the second MIDI palette I got was the My Dream that I used today. And if you missed it before, this is my favorite Natasha Denona MIDI palette. Then I got the Bloom palette. This one's really pretty. I was very pleasantly surprised with this one. Next is the Roxa palette. I haven't used this palette as much as I would have liked to, so I think it's time I pull this palette out and do some more looks with it. Then last late fall, I think it was during the American Thanksgiving sale. I can't remember exactly which sale, but it was just before Christmas, either in November or Christmas of last year. I ended up picking up 4 palettes off her website because she was having some bundle sale. So I got the Yucca palette. This is what it looks like. And this one too, I haven't used it as much as I would have liked to. And when I decided I was doing a full face of Natasha Denona, I actually wanted to use this palette. But I thought the color story wouldn't really go well with the blush that I chose. So again, something for me to do in the future. I also got the Xenon palette. This is what it looks like. A lot of mixed reviews about the Xenon palette, but I like it. You can create some really interesting high contrast type eyeshadow looks. And that gift with purchase came with another single. It is from the Xenon palette and it is the shade Cygnus. And in that bundle, I also got the gold palette. At first I wasn't too impressed with this palette, honestly, but I feel like I should give it another shot. I feel like I should test this out some more, create some more eye looks before I actually decide if I like it or not. And the last one in that bundle purchase is I Need a Warm. This is what it looks like. This one is quite pretty. I think what happened was, because I got the 4 palettes in the bundle, I was actually more impressed with this palette in comparison to the golden palette. So what I think I need to do is try out the golden palette again without having this one in mind. And as I was saying, the most recent Natasha Denona palette I got is the bronze palette. And I got this in one of my Ipsy subscriptions, and I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the new products that I tried out and used today. The HyGlam Foundation, so far, I'm really impressed. I really like it. I like the finish. I like the shade match. I love the way that it feels on the skin. Like, I can't feel it at all. So now it's just about discovering how long this wears, how well it wears. And because, like I said, I'm working today, I probably won't have time to pop back in and show you a check-in, but I will post a comment down below giving you the update. The Sculpt Liquid Bronzer. At first, I was a little put off by the shade, but after blending it out, I quite like it. Like, this formula is fabulous. It's pigmented, but it blends out so easily, smoothly, and seamlessly. And like I was saying earlier, the way that it shows up on camera is beautiful. Next, let's talk about the High Blush Duo. I really like this. I like that you get 2 different shades, although this one is more of a highlighter. I feel like it could be an awesome topper for any other blush that you may have in your collection. I like the shade. I like the shades together. What I do want to try one time is using this one just by itself. And then this cute little guy. I love it. It's perfect for travel. I really like the finish that it gave. A little bit of a glow, but nothing overpowering. I really like this blush. I also apologize. I don't really know what happened to my voice. I keep trying to clear it, but it's not working. But it's all good. We're almost at the end of this video. The last item of the new products I got is the My Dream Lip Gloss. I love, love, love the shade. And at first I was a little bit shocked by the formula because it's called a lip gloss, but it doesn't feel like a lip gloss. So the pros are that it's not goopy. I think I just had it in my head that it was going to be a little bit shinier, like a traditional lip gloss, but this feels nice. And for someone who has lips like mine where they shed all the time and get dry really easily, a comfortable formula like this is amazing. To me, it feels like a super comfortable liquid lipstick. that's not drying, not sticky, and not goopy. But what I love most about this lip gloss is the shade. So here is the final look using mostly Natasha Denona products. Let me come in close so you can see the eye look. And different lighting. As I was saying before, Natasha Denona's eyeshadow is my favorite mainstream formula. And again, leave me a comment if there's anything in my collection that you would want to see me do a look with. Or just leave me a comment letting me know which is your favorite Natasha Denona palette. And now we've come to the end of this video. I need to run. I need to get back to work. But I appreciate you all so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you all in the next one.
Oh, ha, ha.